More and more people, if they have a half an hour of time, are going on their cell phones and they're staying in their social feeds.
People tend to discover this content through the web, through their communities, through social feeds.
75% of our audience comes through social.
It's really nice to engage with the fans, to be able to have that direct connection and hear what people are thinking the moment it's happening.
Everybody loves a good viral video. People are creating them every day. But rather than leaving it up to a kid named Charlie or a musical cat, companies want their own creations to go viral. The challenge is figuring out the alchemy that actually creates a video millions of people want to like, retweet, repost, and repeat. Virality isn't just luck, it's a science that's always changing. And one of the very first laboratories devoted to figuring out how your social media mind works is BuzzFeed.
We don't dissociate the process of making content from the process of looking at data. One of the reasons why we've been successful is we've been able to have a culture that really bridges art and science.
Is the core sort of tenet of BuzzFeed virality? Is that the key word?
I think sharing is the key word.
BuzzFeed began as sort of an experiment back in 2006, dreamed up by CEO Jonah Peretti a year after he co-founded the Huffington Post. The site's purpose was to track viral content and make things people wanted to share. Now, less than 10 years later, BuzzFeed reaches over 80 million unique visitors in the US every month. That's more than Gawker, Vimeo, and Vice.
We want people to share our content, and we reach a lot of our audience through sharing. The biggest indicator of whether or not you will spend the time to read something is whether or not someone shared it to you.
Now, you might still associate BuzzFeed with cat videos, but the company is trying hard to change that perception. They've hired hundreds of reporters and editors from around the world.
Look, yes, we still do cat lists. We're really good at them. We're not going to be, we're not going to be bashful about that.
From the animated GIF all the way out to the feature, we want to do all of it.
Zay Frank was hired in 2012 and launched BuzzFeed Motion Pictures last year to make the site all about video.
I feel like people tend not to appreciate the value of what seems to be trivial content, small things that are shared around, but those areas generally tend to be where we learn about the future.
And older media companies want to learn too. This summer, NBC Universal made a $200 million equity investment into BuzzFeed. Soon after that, the world's largest buyer of online ads, Group M, struck a multi-million-dollar partnership. Do you worry about how much money you can make from the videos, or is that somebody else's job?
Oh, it is something I worry about. That side of the market is also evolving. Not just the nature of the content, but how money is made.
It's safe to say Frank is not the only one here with money on his mind, especially as the company thinks about going public. But no matter what happens, at BuzzFeed, social media will remain king. And that means the future is much more personal.
One fundamental that doesn't change is that media is about emotions. And it's about making people laugh, making people smile. So the relationship that media has to our social lives, to who we are, to our identity, that's the constant. Almost everything else changes.